What is up, YouTube? This is Chris, the Unprofessional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video. And tonight I don't have any reveals or reviews, but what I do have is some knives in front of me that I want to talk with you about. I want to talk about 10 EDC fixed blades that you can get right now for under $100. And in my opinion, these are the best EDC fixed blades that I have. Now, I have a lot of EDC fixed blades that cost over $100, but we're not talking about those. We're talking about knives on a budget that are a lot more affordable, and honestly, at that price range, you can get some phenomenal knives right now. So these are 10 knives, EDC fixed blades that you can get right now for under $100. But before I talk about a single knife, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. Whether you're an older viewer or a newer viewer, either one, I appreciate you and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Now, in case you are newer and you do not know, we're in the middle of a massive giveaway right now. This is not a normal giveaway. We're not just giving away a knife. We're not just giving away a couple knives. We're giving away knives, other stuff, and we're giving away some budgets. And budgets are mini shopping sprees. Basically, if you want to know about it and you want a full detailed list of everything that we're giving away, which we're giving them away right around the corner, it's getting closer every day, then what you need to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, then run on over to my other video titled Huge Knife Budget Giveaway. Watch what it says. It's only a few minutes long and it's only about the giveaway, and it'll explain it to you in detail, and it'll tell you the one thing that you need to do to be a part of it. We'd love to have you a part of this community. We're growing every day, and we'd love to have you a part of this giveaway. After all, it's free. It just takes a little bit of your time. So like, subscribe, Huge Knife Budget Giveaway, and do what it says. All right, guys. So I was just sitting here, mind's running, messing with my knives, dealing with my kids, just wanting to make another video just to kill time because I enjoy talking with you guys. I like the engagement. I like the feedback. I like the comments. I like talking back and forth with you all. And I have been asked a few times, what are the best EDC fixed blades under $100? So what better thing to do right now than to make a video about that very topic? So I'm going to run through these really quick. These are 10 knives, 10 fixed blades. And the very first one, without further ado, is a fantastic little knife. This thing is powerful. This is an awesome little knife right here. It's deceptive. It looks small. It looks thin. It don't look like very much. It has a little Kydex sheath that you just flat, I mean, just thin. Doesn't look like much. And let me tell you something right now, though. This Ferrum Forged Lackey with D2 blade steel is an exceptional, incredibly good knife. It's a very thin blade stock, so it's slicey as all get out. It's razor blade sharp. It has an excellent point for piercing, for poking, cutting boxes. It's extremely thin. One of the reasons that I like this knife so much, especially for EDC level, or for EDC uses, I should say, is because of how thin and lightweight it is. Now, you don't have to get the natural G10 handles. You can get it with the satin blade. You can get it with different, or stonewash blade, I'm sorry. You can get it with different G10 handles. You even can get an XL Lackey, you know, if you want one that's longer, but those are over $100. I think those are like $119. But excellent knife. You can wear it as a neck knife, and it's very small, and it's so thin and so low profile, you literally could wear a shirt over this and no one would even know you was wearing it except for the necklace around your neck. You can put an ulti clip on this and slide it in your pocket, and I'm telling you though, that little blade right there, it fits in your hand very well. Now, this isn't a full 4-finger grip for me. This is a 3-finger grip, but it's an EDC fixed blade. It's meant to be small, light, and easy to carry, but also easy to use for EDC purposes. So a lot of times an EDC fixed blade doesn't need to be a monster of a knife. Does it need to be massive? Now, sometimes a really good sized knife is good for EDC, especially if you have different types of jobs and lifestyles. But this knife right here is fantastic, guys. The Ferrum Forged Lackey in D2. This thing right here comes in right around $70, and it is phenomenal. I love this knife a lot. I've used this knife a lot. I'm telling you, a lot of times when I'll have something to do going on, if I'm opening packages and stuff, because y'all know I get a lot of daggone packages. You all only see the packages that have knives in them. I get a lot of EDC packages with wallets and fixed blades, wallets and flashlights and pry bars and stuff like that. I get packages for my kids all the time, just tons of stuff. And a lot of times, this is what I'm using. Because it's easy, it's light, I just get it out and it's just thin and fantastic knife right here. Under $100, and this is a great EDC right here. All your problems are solved with that knife right there. You don't need a folder. This is as small as a folder pretty much, but it's got the strength of a fixed blade. You can do anything with the fixed blade that you can do with the folder, but you cannot do anything with the folder that you can do with the fixed blade. And this fixed blade right here can do anything that a folder can do. So it's powerful. I like that thing a lot. I highly recommend that Lackey. Now this next knife is a knife that I have been singing its praises ever since I got it. I absolutely love it. I've not gotten to carry this knife as much as I want to. I've only carried it like twice. But man, it's a sweet, sweet knife. And it is the Kaiser Militao. Now this is one of those knives that might be a little bigger than some people like, but a lot of people like those knives that are a little bit larger. You can wear on your side for different jobs and tasks and stuff like that. It also has a really nice, clean, classy look to it. So it's a knife that you can wear with some nice jeans, a nice outfit. You can wear it, switch this T-clip around. You can wear it cross draw, and appendix carry, vertical carry, whatever you want. This thing's about 75 bucks, I think. Now you can get them more expensive than that, but this is just absolutely fantastic. Now this is in Nitro V as well. It has 2 spots of jimping on it, right there and right there. So just like the no, that doesn't have 2 spots. I thought it did, but it's got 2 great spots of jimping. Now that's not micro jimping at all. I mean, it's not super aggressive like I like, but it's aggressive, so you can definitely feel it. It's got some traction to it. For most people, it's going to be perfect, because most people don't want that jimping that's going to take your skin off your thumb. I like it like that, but a lot of people don't. So this is going to be great. You can use this for so many different things. This is just an excellent knife. And these things are 75 bucks, I think. Now you can get a nicer version of this for around $159, but you don't have to do that, because this knife is perfectly capable. You can change out the inserts right here. You can put different ones in it. You can order different inserts, or if you had different knives, different Militao fixed blades, you can just trade out the inlays right here between the different knives, or you can just do the easier thing and buy one knife and buy a whole bunch of these inserts, and that way you can change them out, and then that way you've always got a new knife, or at least it looks like it. The sheath is Kydex. You can take this off or leave it on. You can rotate it, whatever you want to do. It's a fantastic knife. It's absolutely great. This thing, the Militao is probably, no, the Momo, I fell in love with the Momo, and that's my new favorite Kaiser. But other than the Kaiser Momo, the Militao, I think, is the best Kaiser knife out right now. I mean, unless you're talking a super amount of money, the Militao is the way to go. Whether you're talking folder or fixed blade, this is a fantastic knife right here. Fantastic knife. And you can pretty much do anything that you need to do on an EDC basis with this knife. Absolutely anything. So I love that knife right there. I love that knife. It's classy, elegant, it looks cool, extremely capable. Anything you want to do, you can do with it. Now this next knife, this is also a Kaiser. And several of these knives are Kaisers. I mean, 1, three of them are Kaiser's, because Kaiser makes some great fixed blades, especially when you're talking that under $100 price point. This next knife is fantastic. This thing is sweet too. The Kaiser K-Box right there. Look at that blade. Look at that blade. You want to talk about a capable blade? You've got your little ring right there for your finger. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. You can do a reverse grip. You can do whatever you want, however you want. I mean, this thing is just fantastic. It's got great indexing with a really nice finger choil right there. It's got a little bit of jimping. Now this jimping is kind of micro. I mean, it's not really micro. You can feel it, but not as much as that. It's more micro than that one. Now it's got two little fullers right here, but they're not full fullers. They're just little short fullers, or blood grooves as I like to call them. But this is a very slicey blade. Very slicey blade. Draw point blade. Now this one is in 154 cm. This is in, so that's even better. 154 cm and G10 handles. Very smooth, excellent grip. This knife is sweet. I mean, this is a sweet knife. I love the Kydex sheath. It's got these two straps. You can change the straps around. You can take them off. You can put an ulti clip on it or a T clip or whatever you want on it. It's fantastic. It's got this little ridge or lip right there so you can get a good grip and push it right out. All the way around, fantastic knife. These things are around 70 bucks as well. They're not expensive. Now I understand that not everybody can afford $70, and that might be out of some people's price range. And I can possibly do an EDC fixed blade under $50. But you're really getting a lot more limited then in what your options are and what blade steels you have and stuff like that. But for 154 cm, I do not think that this is too big for EDC. I think that this is a great size for EDC. Because usually if you're going to EDC a fixed blade, it's going to be a decent size, unless you have a really truly small minimalist type of knife. So I think this is a great size. I think this is a perfect like medium, right in the middle, not too big, not too small, just right type of knife. The Kaiser K-Box. This thing is fantastic with 154 cm blade steel. And look at that knife. Look at that blade. That is an absolute, it's a great looking knife. First of all, it looks awesome, but that blade, that flat grind, you talking about a slicer. This is a slicing knife right here. You can use this for food prep. You can use it for box opening. You could use this thing for self-defense, and it can almost look tactical if you wanted it to. And you can get different blades, you can get, I think you can get black coated blade. I'm not sure. I think you can. But you can get different versions. You can definitely get different handles and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you can get a black coated blade. So this thing almost has a tactical look and feel to it, but also just a really nice knife. And these things come in around $75. You cannot beat the K-Box. Actually, they might even be a little cheaper than that. Now this next knife is a knife that just came out. I did not have a lot of luck with this knife when I first got it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I had a lot of luck with the knife. It was the sheath that I had issues with. But the knife I loved from the get-go. And I have used this knife a few times. I've wanted to test it out and stuff like that to see how well it would perform, and it's been great. And I did use a hairdryer to fix the sheath, like Philippians, who watches, instructed me to, and then a few other people also chimed in and said, hey, use a hairdryer, that'll help with that, or an oven, just don't overcook it or you'll burn it. And I did, and it took care of the problem. And it is the Tenable Lucio. These things are under $50. And it's fantastic. It has a harpoon style blade. This thing is awesome. awesome. Just, I mean, look at that. Fits your hand great. Look at that blade. It's got jimping up here on top. I don't know if you can see that jimping right there. Now the jimping is micro jimping. I mean, it's micro as micro gets. So that's one thing that I don't like about the thing. I mean, it's not a big deal for a lot of people, but I do like jimping, so it doesn't have enough jimping for me. But that's neither here nor there. The jimping is okay. I'll deal without the jimping. You know, it's still a great knife. Handle looks good, feels good in the hand. Again, a harpoon style blade. Look at that belly. Another slicey knife. Very slicey knife. This is 14C 28M blade steel, so it's durable and tough. It's got good edge retention. It's not the best steel in the world, but for a budget knife, that's a great budget steel. It is a full tang knife. It's got a spot for a lanyard right here. Excellent G10 that's got texture to it, so it's grippy. I'm telling you, this is a nice knife. Under $50. I think they're $48.95 unless you get the carbon fiber version, and then it's $58.95. But they only have one carbon fiber version that's $58.95. Other than that, all of the Lucios are $48.95. And you can get different blades, satin or stone wash, and you can get different colored G10 handles. But either way, it's a fantastic budget knife. $50 and you get that much blade right there. Look at that. That is a slight food prep, box cutting. Again, all the general things that you're going to use for EDC, this is going to do. It's got that great harpoon tip right there, so it's going to be a good piercer and poker. I mean, this thing is just great. Another one that's got a Kydex sheath. Now again, when I first got this, it was not fitting the Kydex sheath. It was shooting the knife back out. It was bowing up really bad, the pressure, because it wasn't fitting the knife right. So you had to shove it in there really hard, and it would build up and bow up. And then you let go, and it would shoot the knife back out across the table on me. I did take care of that. I fixed it. Now it snaps in, and it's perfect. I mean, it was just a little bit of modification, and now it just snaps right in, and it's perfect. Thank you, Philippians, for that advice. And then everybody that commented after that, that told me about that, I appreciate the feedback and the support and the comments. I've learned so much from you guys. It's crazy how much I've learned from you all. But another one that comes with the clip that you can switch. This is a knife that I would carry appendix carry. This is definitely a knife that I would carry cross draw. You don't have to, but I like this knife a lot, and it's under $50. It's probably the best fixed blade that I have that's under $50. It's a fantastic fixed blade, unless I was counting one that's coming up here in a second. Actually, I'll take that back. It's not the best fixed blade I got under $50, but it's one of them. Now this next knife is a little bigger, and it's heavy. It's a heavy knife, it's a bigger knife, but it is great for EDC. I EDC'd this one day, and I used this thing like 4 different times. I was literally trying to find chances to use this knife just because I wanted to test it out. And it handled everything. Handled it all well. And it is the Civivi Propagnator. Another knife with the short fullers. Now you'll see I use this knife a lot. You see those lines? I sharpen pencils with this for my boys. That's where those lines come from. This is a great one for food prep. I actually made sandwiches with this one day. I mean, it made easy work of the tomatoes and the carrots and stuff like that I was cutting up and cooking. What kind of sandwiches did I make? I think it was BLTs that I made, and I was cutting some tomatoes and then cooked up some vegetables for the boys. Handled it no problem. I mean, this thing done so good. It's got a little valley right there for your thumb. It's got jimping. Now the jimping is another one, that micro jimping. It's not very aggressive. Actually, that is more aggressive than the last one. Still micro though. Still micro. If you like aggressive jimping, this is going to be micro jimping to you. That's all there is to it. Now, the handle has got this contoured G10 handles. Some people like that, some people don't. It feels good in the hand to some people it don't. Now, the handle design I like. It allows you to get different grips on the handle because of the way that it's contoured and formed. It's just a great overall profile. It really is. Actually, if you see this right here, it's got a finger choil right here for your ring finger to give you a great indexing for how to hold the handle. Even when you switch it up, you always got your finger right there in that little finger choil. It actually is pretty ingenious. It feels great. It feels good in the hand. Again, this is a little bit heavier, but I'm telling you, this knife can handle anything. It really can. This thing is fantastic. Now, hold on just a second. Let me see what this... I want to see one thing here really quick. D2 blade steel. That's what I thought. I didn't want to say it without being 100% sure. And it comes in at 59 to 61 on the Rockwell chart. So that's a big chunk of D2. That's a big chunk of D2 blade steel. So as long as you keep it sharp, and I got this thing razor sharp, look at that knife. You've got a flat grind right here and a flat grind right here, but you've got two different grinds. You see that? So I literally was chopping carrots with this part, and then I was using this part to slice the tomatoes. I mean, it was just mowing through that stuff easy. It was just it was a joy to use this thing. I just wanted to get out and test it and see how good it would be, because I did not, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, looking at this thing, I just didn't see how practical it would be, because look at it. But man, once you get to using it, you'll find out how practical it is. It looks odd. It's almost like that Tom Brown Tracker Tops knife that looks all goofy and weird. But once you actually get it and you use it, you find out that there's a method to that madness, why it looks like that. And every part of the blade and the different shapes and stuff all has a function. And if you use it the way it's supposed to, it's fantastic. That's what I would compare this to. It's absolutely fantastic. Another one with a good Kydex sheath. Excellent retention. Cross draw, vertical draw, whatever. These things right here, $75.95. $75.95, and that's a massive knife right there. That's a great knife that you could use for anything. If you've got a job and you're a construction worker or work in a machine shop, or you're out even if you're somebody out in the woods and stuff a lot, this might not look like a camping knife and stuff, but this is a great camping knife. It's D2, so it's strong and durable, but you could food prep out in the woods and stuff like that. It wouldn't be very practical for I would probably chop with it, but I wouldn't probably baton and stuff with it. But EDC wise is what we're talking about, and that's a great EDC knife right there. Now this is the other knife that I said under 100 or under 50 bucks. That's probably the best knife on the table, in my opinion, under 50 bucks. And it is, of course, the Scout Feather. Absolutely. Look, I love this thing so much, just so you all know, I got a couple for the giveaway on the 3rd, because I want people to experience this daggone knife. That's how much I love this knife. It's the only one you'll notice that's got a necklace on it, or not a necklace, but a rope, because I wear this thing so much. This thing is fantastic. I mean, fantastic. One of the best, most used knives that I have is this little sucker right here. And it is awesome I love this. All the way down, look how aggressive that jimping is. Check. I love aggressive jimping. Look at that finger choil. And then that. I like one finger choil, not a whole bunch of finger choils. Check. Perfect. I don't want something that I've got to have 2-3 fingers on and then my fourth finger sliding off, or it's a 3.5 finger. Full 4-finger grip. Check. The handle's right there and it feels good. Great jimping. Slicey little blade. Excellent retention on the sheath. You hear that snap? Snaps in there good. Boom. Now it's got a wrench right here on the top. What's that wrench for right there? Well, you can use it for a lot of different things. It's a wrench. But also what it's used for is for this right here, this ferro rod. So you can twist that ferro rod and twist it off when it needs to be replaced, and then twist the new ferro rod back in, because the ferro rod is right there and it is the shape of that wrench. It also has a honing spot right there so you can hone your edge. Now I don't use that, but if I was out in the woods or somewhere out away from the house without some type of a sharpener on me, and I noticed that my knife was dull and I really needed to use this for something, and I really needed a good sharp blade, I would use that. I'm not big on these, even though it is ceramic, so it's going to be all right. It's not going to hurt your blade. If that was one of those carbides or something, I wouldn't use it because it'll literally take metal off your blade and your edge, and I don't like that. But this is ceramic, so it's going to just hone your edge really good. So it is an emergency sharpener if you're out and about. There's just so many good things about this. It does come with a pocket clip. It's the worst pocket clip I've ever seen on a knife. I'll be honest. Absolutely garbage. I took it off. I did not want to use it. It would rip your clothes to shreds if you tried to put it in your pants or something. It was just terrible. So I took it off. I even emailed the company and said, you all have the most amazing knife, but your pocket clip's got to go. But this thing is fantastic. Around $50. Now you can get them from Outdoor Element, an online website, and they do all outdoor stuff. They've got a couple different knives like this, but they also do camping stuff, emergency stuff, ferro rods, fire starters, first aid kits. It's basically a camping survival type, first aid type, emergency type situation website. All the kind of stuff that you need if you're ever in a bad situation. Emergency tents, fire starters, extinguishers, stuff like that, first aid kits, and little knives like this, around $50. And these things are fantastic. Fantastic. I'm telling you guys, awesome, awesome knife. One of the most used knives I've had, my knives that I have. Now, oh, and it's also in VG10. That's VG10 blade steel. So it's not Nitro V or anything like that, but VG10 is not bad. VG10 is pretty tough, and I mean, it's a Japanese steel, you know. It's no super premium steel or anything like that, but it's $50. It's fantastic. I've only sharpened it once or twice, and it's razor blade sharp. I love that knife. Now, the next knife is a knife that I love. What's that old saying? Those who know carry Spyderco. And how would we have a daggone under $100 fixed blade without mentioning the Bow River? Now, this isn't always considered an EDC knife. You can consider this a hunting knife, a filleting knife, a food prep knife, whatever you want. All encompassing, which is one of the reasons why it's a great EDC knife, because it can do so daggone much. Now, it's only an ACR, but if you know anything about Spyderco, they do great things with their ACR. Their Tenacious is in ACR, unless you get one of these souped up models that's like the Ferrari of the Tenacious. You know, typical Tenacious comes in ACR. Yeah, it's not the best steel in the world. It's a budget steel. You gotta sharpen it a lot. You gotta take care of it. You gotta hone it. It's not gonna hold an edge very long. It is tough. It is durable. It'll take a beating, and it's got great corrosion resistance. But as far as edge retention, it lacks a lot. But it's easy as the day is long to sharpen, so it makes up for it. Carry you a honing rod, carry you a work sharp field sharpener. Just carry a little ceramic rod. Carry anything that you want that you can use as a sharpener, and just a couple swipes and it's sharp again. That's how easy 8CR is to do. So yes, it's not a good steel, it's not a premium steel, but it's enough to do the job. Anything I can cut with anything on this table, I can cut with this thing in 8CR. It's a fantastic knife. It's extremely thin. It's slicey. Again, cut boxes with it. It has a great leather sheath. A lot of people don't like Kydex, you know, older people that, you know, just like the look of leather. There's a lot of people that like leather sheaths, and that's just what they want. They want a knife with a leather sheath. Now, you can get a Kydex sheath for this. Obviously, you can have Kydex sheaths made for anything. But these leather sheaths look great. They're beautiful. The stitching, the woodwork on these things, it's awesome. I mean, this is really quality work right here. It's a Spyderco. A great, comfortable handle. But again, what are you going to run across on a daily basis in an EDC situation that this knife cannot take care of? I'll wait. Anything? I didn't think so. Because anything that you run across on a daily EDC basis, now I'm not saying those crazy one-off scenarios where your engine broke down and you needed a knife that you could use as a pry bar to bust a lug nut opener or something or whatever. I don't know. You don't use pry bars to do that. I don't even know why I said that. I make no sense half the time. My kids don't understand my language. They have no clue what I'm saying usually. But you guys are figuring me out. I appreciate that. But regardless, on an EDC daily basis, this knife is going to do just fine. And I love it. And you know what that knife costs? About $50 for a Spyderco fixed blade knife, the Bow River. I will use this as quick as anything on this table and be just fine with this. Slap it right on my side, low profile. It's not heavy. Great knife. Now, this next knife is a knife that's been around for a little while, but I've got to include this knife because of how good it is. It's a small knife. The Spew. Now, I had a couple other knives that I was going to put in this, but I wanted to keep it at 10, and I just did not want to make this list without putting the Spew on it, because it has a really nice little molded sheath. It has a little loop that comes with it that you can switch around and stuff like that, so you can do cross draw or vertical draw or whatever. Great little sheath, excellent retention. Snaps right in. It's got a lanyard. Feels good in the hand. It's got jimping right there, and that cradle for your thumb. Very slicey blade. This is a hollow grind, so it's a very slicey knife. Very slicey knife. It's got a really sharp point, piercing, poking, whatever you want to do. Now, this is a thinner knife, thin blade stock with a very thin point. So this is not a knife that you want to go using as a pry bar. You know, I use my knives a lot to take staples out of the paperwork that the kids bring home a lot. I shouldn't do it, and a lot of times I try to use my pry bars, but if I just got a knife in my hand or on me and stuff, I'll just jerk it out and do it really quick, because usually it's fine. I would not do that with this. But this knife is great. This is a fantastic knife. If you've ever had one of these, that's not the minimalist line from CRKT. They do have a lot of great knives in the minimalist line, and they are small like this, but the Spew is not part of that line. Sometimes I call it a minimalist knife because it's so much like them and it just fits the mold, but it's not a minimalist. This is a knife of its own, the CRKT Spew. It's a fantastic knife. It really is. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is 8CR as well, and it's $40. But what, again, on an EDC basis, what are you going to run across that this knife is not going to be able to take care of? $39.95 for this Spew with the sheath that it has and everything else. And ACR still. Fantastic knife. Fantastic knife. Box cutting, package cutting, cutting zip ties or anything like that. Food prep, whatever you want to do. A fantastic little blade. It's light. It's when I say minimalist, it's not the minimalist line, but it's a minimalist lifestyle. Light and out of the way, easy to carry, not heavy, not bulky, not weighing you down. Something that you can conceal easy. You can wear it as a neck knife, you can wear it as whatever, but you can jerk this thing out and do pretty much anything that you need to do within reason for an EDC. EDC. Not, again, the extreme situations that you have one-offs every now and then it comes across and you're like, oh, see that situation right there? That in those situations, a lot of knives won't handle them. I'm talking just general things that you come across EDC on a day-to-day basis. You know, on a day-to-day basis, really, honestly, what do I use a knife for? EDC. Cutting boxes open, cutting strawberries for my kids or something, sharpening my kids' pencils, cutting cloth like strings and stuff to hang off my kids' clothes, cutting zip ties and plastic zip ties, stuff like that. That's usually what it is. That's it. That's what the average person uses for EDC, and that can do every bit of it. The CRKT Spew. I've got two more knives here, and the last one is the best of them all. This next one is probably, no, I won't say it's the second best. That Lackey is hard to beat. That Lackey, that very first one, is hard to beat. But here you go. The Muskrat. What a fantastic knife. Fantastic knife right here. This thing is impressive. Look how much jimping you have on that knife right there. You have it all the way down up to where the knife starts to go down for the drop point. It's got a great swedge on it for piercing and poking. It's an excellent slicey blade with that flat grind. Great jimping. It is it's a 3.5 finger grip. 3.5 finger grip, but that's okay. It's got a Kydex sheath with it that comes with this type of clip. Now you can take that off if you want and put it, wear it as a neck knife or whatever, but I wouldn't. I would just leave that and just slide it down in your pocket. This knife is awesome. This knife is so daggone good. I would probably say this is one of the best EDC fixed blades on the market right now. It is that good. If you have not tried the Muskrat, now if anybody that has the Muskrat or has tried the Muskrat out is going to agree with me. I was listening to, I think it was Bees Blades or somebody. I can't remember who it was, but I was listening to a bigger YouTuber the other day, and they was talking, and they mentioned the Muskrat. Is anybody that doesn't have one needs to get one and check it out because of how good the Muskrat is. It's one of the best EDC fixed blades on the market, and I agree with that. I've been saying that all along. This thing is fantastic. Now the Muskrat is around, I think, $65, $65 to $69, so $70. It's 154 cm. It's fantastic. I mean, this thing you can do anything with. It's a smaller knife. It's lightweight. It's easy to conceal, easy to consume. But again, it's just good enough to handle any EDC situation you run across. There's just not too many things that you're going to run across on a day-to-day basis that this knife cannot take on. This knife is going to handle any situation that you deal with, and it's fantastic. Those micarta handles are so soft, and I mean, they just feel so good. I've actually seen some people switching these out and putting different types of handles on them and stuff. But just, man, this is such a nice knife. Such a nice knife. This is probably, yeah, I don't know. There's some really good knives on this table, so it's hard to say what rank this knife is. The last knife is definitely the best knife on the table. But this knife is so good. I mean, it's hard to beat that knife. The Lackey is so good. It's hard to beat that knife. And this knife. Those are probably, right here, these knives are really close neck and neck and how good they are. And how convenient they are and easy to use and how durable and just efficient. Efficient, that's the big thing. These things are efficient. They're going to handle anything that you need, but they're going to be small and easy to use and easy to carry. Now this last knife, in my opinion, is the best fixed blade on the market under $100 for EDC. Period. Full stop for EDC. Now, in my opinion, the Bradford Guardian is the best EDC fixed blade in the world. No price limit, no nothing. It's the Bradford Guardian. All day long, it's the best, in my opinion, and only in my opinion. I'm not saying it's a consensus or anything. In my opinion, it's the best. Now, that's over $100 though, so it eliminates it from this discussion. But under $100, it's this thing right here. Let me tell you, this knife is the best knife on this table by far. It's not even a close call. It's not a debate. It's not, there's no consideration that needs to be put into it. There's no thought and process, and let's think about it and work it out, and let's do pros and cons. It's a full stop, hands down. This is the best fixed blade on this table, and in my opinion, the best fixed blade under $100 for EDC that you can buy. It's the Vosteed Mink. This thing is legit. It is amazing. Kydex sheath, another one of these clips. I carry mine cross draw, appendix wise, appendix carry. You don't have to. It's fantastic. It's got micarta handles that's contoured, so in case you, and got the lines and stuff in it, so in case your hands get wet or anything, it gives you grip. It's tacky. It has 2 spots of jimping, here and here, and it is aggressive jimping. Not take your thumb off aggressive, but it's aggressive. Far more aggressive than anything else I've shown on this table, except for the Scout Feather. It's extremely aggressive. So you can get different types of grips and stuff on this and different holds. You can do whatever you want. The blade stock is so thin, but so durable and strong. You can, I mean, this thing is Nitro V blade steel. So it's really strong, really durable, decent edge retention. It has a good finger twirl right there. It's a full 4-finger grip. The handle comes to right there, so all the way to the end. A good grip on this. Look at that blade. Now you can get this in sheep's foot, but I'm telling you, this blade right here is so good. I wouldn't want the sheep's foot. Now the sheep's foot, I'm sure, is dang good because the mink is just all the way around that good. But this blade right here is so slicey. It's that blade and that razor sharp edge and how thin that blade stock is and that really strong piercing point. This thing is fantastic. In my opinion, again, one last time, you cannot beat this for under $100. The best EDC fixed blade you are going to come across. Now, I've seen a ton of them. I've got more coming. I've got some ordered. I've got some more Kaisers. I've got another Civivi. Now, if I'm talking over $100, there's all kinds of fixed blades over there I can throw in here. We're talking the Spartan. We're talking the Bradfords. We're talking the Essie. All kinds of them. Yeah, there's all kinds of EDC fixed blades over there that I can put in there if I'm wanting to have no price limit. But under $100, this is the way to go right here. You can't beat this knife for under $100. This thing is fantastic. In my opinion, it's the best. I will take this one knife right here over every knife on this table. You can give me any 2 knives on this table, and I'll take this knife over any 2 knives on this table. The only ones that would, now if you put these 2 together, the Lackey and the Scout Feather, or the Scout Feather and the Muskrat, it'd be a hard one for me to choose. That's how good I think this knife is. It's fantastic, and I use this a lot. I love this knife. Let me know what you think. What do you think the best EDC fixed blade under $100 is? Tell me. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me what knife I'm way off. Like that does not belong in that list. Or you left this knife out of this list. Or if you know a knife on this list that doesn't belong, tell me why it doesn't belong. I want to learn. I want to learn. You guys know so much and you share so much with me in the comment sections, and I learn so much from you. I know. Like the Beluga. When the Beluga gets here, I'm going to probably end up putting that in here. The Beluga fixed blade will be here in a few days. And I'll probably end up putting that in this list of under $100 because of how good everybody says it is. And I know by the other petrified fish knives I have over there, if it's anything like, I actually bought a couple petrified fish, the Beluga, the El Camino, and something else. So I'm excited to get them. But if they're as good as the other petrified fish knives, then the Beluga probably will be on this list or belong on this list. So there's a lot of knives that could be here. Tell me what knife you think belongs on this list of under $100, best EDC fixed blade. I'd appreciate it. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to learn. I'd love to know where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm right. What knives do you agree with me on? That yes, that knife is definitely it. That knife belongs on the list, and I think that that's an amazing EDC fixed blade. Communicate with me. Let me know, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. This was just a fun video I wanted to make while I was sitting here killing time because I want to talk with you guys about knives and start more dialogue and conversations. So until next time, remember, I wish you all sharp knives and happy lives. I'm Chris, Professional Dad, and I will see you all next time.